Hello guys, welcome to the course of TCP/IP. Today we are going to discuss about the silly window syndrome. Before this video, what we have discussed about the flow control in TCP. So what kind of what this particular silly window syndrome is occur, how it occur, and what are the solutions are available with this. We are going to discuss in this particular video lecture. So let's start with the silly window syndrome. Now, and what we know that is we have a sliding window protocols, and there is a serious problem can arise in the sliding window operation when either a sending application program create data slowly or receiving application programs consume data slowly. What happened with the producer and consumer problem, guys? Producer produces an item and consumer consume an item. But if there is a imbalancing, then in the producer and consumer, there will be a problem. So that problem can be solved using the data flow. That what we can say the data flow or data control or flow control we can say that we have discussed in previous lecture. So here, producing an item or creating an item very slowly, or else we can say and receiving application program consume data very slowly, or both at a time. Due to this reason, this silly window syndrome can occur in sliding window operations. Any of these situations result in the sending of data is very small segment, which reduce the efficiency of the operation. So if we want to perform, if you want to increase the performance, that time it is going to be a hurdle to that particular operation. For example, if the TCP send a segment containing only 1 byte of data, it means 41 byte datagram, that is what 20 byte of TCP header and 20 byte of IP header transfer only 1 byte of data. It means what? We are sending a content, very small content with the very huge large size of bag. So let's say if I having the sack of let's say 40 kg, and what we are using only we are sending the 1 kg of data. So this is what the problem. We are not using the total capacity of that particular carrying. Either it can be packet header size, it can be SAC, it can be anything on that particular network. So here, what we are given, only we are sending 1 byte of data, and we are using for that purpose what we have to do. We have to use 20 byte of TCP header and 20 byte of IP header. So we are wasting that particular what we can say the 39 byte of space. Okay. Now here, then here the overhead is what 41 by Y, which indicate that we are using the capacity of network is very inefficiently. So here inefficient keyword is very important, guys, because silly window syndrome is totally depend on this inefficiency. The inefficiency is even worse after accounting for the data link layer and physical layer overhead. And this problem is called as silly window syndrome problem. So I'm again quickly recalling, let's say if there is a sender and there is a receiver, there is a sender and there is a receiver. Sender is sending a data. Sender is sending 1 byte of data. So in order to send 1 byte of data, they have to use the packet format. They have to use the header format. And he is sending only 1 byte of data. So sender process is sending very small data. Receiver again sending with very small data. And again here, let's say if we have at the application layer, so application header is going to be added. If you go at the transport layer, okay, so transport layer header is going to be added. Again, if you go with the network layer, so network layer header is going to be added. Again, if you go with another lower layer, let's say data link layer and physical layer, so every layers added their header and tailor at that time. So extra in header and tailor information is only going to be added, but the data is carrying only a very small data is going to be carried. So at every layer, this header is going to be added and data is only small, very small. And that what we are saying inefficiency of sending a data, because we are not utilizing all the capacity of that header and trailers at every layer. And that is what the silly window syndrome. Now, here the silly window syndrome can be happen at the sender side and the receiver side. So first of all, we'll take the syndrome created at the sender side. The sending TCP may create the silly window syndrome if it is serving an application program that create data slowly, for example, 1 at a time, 1 byte at a time. So at the sender side, it is created. The application programs writes 1 byte at a time into a buffer for the sending TCP. If the sending TCP does not have any specific instruction, it may create segment containing 1 byte of data. The result is a lot of 41 byte segment that are traveling through an internet. The solution to prevent the sending TCP from sending the data byte by byte, okay, the sending TCP must be forced to wait and collect data to send in a larger block. But how long it should the sending TCP wait? That is a question. If it waits too long time, it may delay the process. If it does not wait a long enough time, it may end up the sending small segments, and that solution is provided by the Naglais found an elegant solution. So this is what the algorithm. So what is the conclusion of this slide, guys? So if you consider the sender and if you consider the receiver, what happened with the sender and receiver? Here, sender having the buffer. So buffer, let's say any kind of any size of buffer. So here, 1 byte of data is going to be right over here. So what happened? Out of let's say n size, only n minus 1 size is going to be remaining, and this portion is full. So here, it sender send the 1 byte of data with the help of the TCP and IP header. So rest of the buffer is going to be again a free, unused and inefficient. Again, it sends to the receiver. What happened if it waits? If it waits for the too long time, so that it buffer can be full. So every item, if the process can process an item, and here the buffer can be full. But if it wait for the too long time, it may delay. So this byte can send very longer time. This byte can first byte can send very longer time. But if it does not wait for the longer time, okay, so at that time what happened? Only small chunks of small segments of data is going to be transferred to that particular receiver. So this is what the problem, and how this problem is overcome. So this problem is overcome at the sender side by the this best solution, that is what the Naglais algorithm. Okay, so it is very simple, guys. What happened with the Naglais algorithm? The sending TCP send a first piece of data it received from the sending application program, even if it is 1 byte. So whatever, no matter what size of data it is, that sending TCP, whatever the data sending application program sends, it received. Okay. Then after sending the first segment, the sending TCP accumulate data into the output buffer and wait until either the receiving TCP send an acknowledgement or until enough data has accumulated to fill a maximum size segment. At this time, sending TCP can send the segments. So what happened in output buffer? The output buffer, it is going to be collected. It is going to be collected, and then what happened? Then the receiving TCP send an acknowledgement or until enough data has accumulated to fill the maximum size of segment. At that time, the sending TCP can send the segment. So this is what the second step. Then step number 2 is repeated for the rest of the transmission, and the segment 3 is sent immediately if the acknowledgement is received for the segment 2. Okay, so if we send if you want to send the segment 3, when it is possible, only we receive if you only receive the segment 2 acknowledgement, or if uh, enough data have accumulated to fill a maximum size of segments. So these are the 3 steps. Very simple steps are available. So wait for some time, and put the data into the output buffer and send only with if the acknowledgement received. So this is what the Naglais algorithm. Then the style of the Naglais algorithm is very, it is simplicity. Algorithm is in its simplicity, and in the fact that it takes into account the speed of the application program, the speed of the application program that create the data, and speed of the network that transport the data. So here the consideration of the speed of whom the application program and the network also. Okay, so here if the application program is faster than the network, okay, because there can be network, there can be your application over here. If the application program is faster than the network, the segments are larger. The segments are larger. It means what? Maximum size segment can be set. But if the application program is slower than the network or smaller than the network, where capacity is lower than the network, the segments are smaller. That means what? The less than the maximum segment size. What we have, that is what? MSS. So if the application program itself is very slow, so we need to have very small byte or small byte. If it is faster, then we can have a larger segment. We can have a large segment. And this using this, these three steps are going to be work out. Okay, I hope this is okay with you guys. Now, this silly window syndrome can also occur at the receiver end. Can also at the receiver end. What happened with the receiver end? The receiving TCP may create a silly window syndrome if it is serving an application program that consume data slowly. That consume data slowly. For example, let's say 1 byte at a time. So that time, this silly window syndrome can occur at the receiver end. Suppose that the sending application program create data in a block of 1 kilobyte, but the receiving application program consume data 1 byte at a time. So here lots of kilobytes are available and it is going to be 1 byte of data at the receiver side. Also, suppose that the input buffer of the receiver is, let's say, receiving TCP is 4 kilobyte. The sender send the first 4 kilobytes of data. The receiver store it in a buffer. Now its buffer is full. Now the buffer is full. It advertise the window size to 0, window size of 0, which means that the sender should stop the sending data. Okay, so let's say here the sender, here is the receiver. Okay, if the receiver is very slow, if the receiver is very slow, so what happened? Receiver advertise this buffer size, window size, that I don't have a space. I don't have a space, and I'm sending the receiver window is what, the 0. So that time what happened? What need to do? The sender need to stop the sending that data flow. Okay, and with this solution it can be stopped. Okay, the receiver application, then the receiving application read the first byte of data from the input buffer of the receiving TCP. Now there is 1 byte of space in the incoming buffer only. Okay, one by one. Then receiving TCP announce the window size. What I have said already, receiving TCP announce the window size is, let's say, 1 byte, which means that the sending TCP, which is eagerly waiting to send the data, takes this advertisement as a good news and send the segment carrying only 1 byte of data. This procedure will continue. 1 byte of data is consumed and the segment carrying 1 byte of data is sent. So again, if once the advertisement from the receiver is received by the sender, then it is possible to send the 1 byte of data. But it depends upon what is the capacity of the consumer, what it at which rate the consumer is consuming, that is depend, that is considered. Okay, and after that, after the consideration, it is going to be sent. So how this problem is going to be solved? So there is a solution, guys, and that solution is called as what, the Clark solution. That solution is what, the Clark solution. There are two solutions. There are two solutions have been proposed to prevent the silly window created at the syndrome created at the application program that consume data slowly. At, we can say, the at the receiver side. The very first is what, the Clark solution. And what happened with the Clark solution? The Clark solution is to send an acknowledgement as soon as the data arrived. So sender and receiver. Data arrived, acknowledgement sent. But to announce the window size of the 0 until either there is enough space to enough space to accumulate the segment of maximum size, or until at least half of the receiver buffer is empty. So what happened? If the sender is sending data, here data is sending, okay, receiver acknowledged immediately. But what happened? For the next data receiving, that receiver waits for some announcing the Windows advertise what to have a 0, what to have, that's 0, or half of the buffer is, let's say, free or full. Okay, so it waits. What is the solution? What is way? The Clark solution is send the acknowledgement as soon as the data arrived. Acknowledgement is going to be sent immediately. Okay, but to announce the window size of the 0 until either there is enough space, until the enough space is available to accumulate the segment from the sender, and wait for the maximum size, or until at least half of the receiver buffer is empty. So these two conditions can be checked. Okay, and there are second solution, guys, and second solution is what, the delayed acknowledgement. Second solution is what, the delayed acknowledgement. In the second solution, it is to delay sending acknowledgement. So instead of sending as soon as immediately messages as an acknowledgement, it wait. This means that when the segment arrives, it is not acknowledgement immediately. It is not sending the acknowledgement immediately. The receiver wait until there is a decent amount of space in its incoming buffer. before acknowledging the arrived segment. So this is what the difference between this Clark and the delayed solution. So here the acknowledgement immediately sent, here it is delayed. Okay, it means what? How much? The receiver wait until there is a decent amount of space in its incoming buffer before acknowledging the arrived segment. So what are the advantages of this delayed acknowledgement? Very first, delayed acknowledgement prevent the sending TCP from sliding its window. This can be one advantages. After sending, the TCP has sent the data in the window, it stop, and that kills a syndrome. It reduces the traffic. It can reduce the traffic. Okay, because immediately only sending acknowledgement, 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 so it create a very chaos on the network. So that is going to be reduced. The receiver does not have to acknowledge each segment. Okay, every individual segments are not going to be acknowledged. Bunch of segments can also be acknowledged. Okay, then but there are some disadvantages, guys. However, there is an also disadvantages in that delayed acknowledgement may result in a sender unnecessarily retransmitting the unacknowledgement segment. If what happened, sender and receiver is there, sender is sending data to the receiver, receiver received, but receiver not send the acknowledgement to the sender, so sender assume that whatever the data I have or the segment I have sent, that is not received by the receiver, so again it is retransmitted, okay. So these are the two solutions are available at the receiver size, guys. I hope this silly window syndrome is okay with you. And what we have discussed the silly window syndrome, and which is created in a computer network, specifically in TCP, when the sending buffer and the receiving buffer is not utilizing fully. Okay, at that time this problem can occur. Then problem can occur at the sender side as well as the receiver side. And if the problem occur at the sender side, and that is provide that is going to be solved with the help of the Nagley's algorithm. Okay, and if it is occur at the receiver side, there are two solutions, guys. One solution is what? The Clark solution, and second is what? The delayed acknowledgement solution. I hope it is okay. After that, we are going to discuss something new. Before this, what we have discussed flow control and the connections also. So please do watch that also.